to another lawnfawn video. Today we are introducing our new set, Holiday Helpers, and its coordinating dies. So let's go ahead and check it out. This set has two super cute little elves and then a ton of accessories that you can use with these elves. So we've got this fun box and a lid and then a bow for the box. There's some wrapping paper and then some things so these elves can get crafty. We've got some ribbon, tape, and scissors. We also have the nice list that they can check to see who gets the presents, of course. We've got some cute little hot cocoa mugs that they can hold and a candy cane. We've got these little labels for the box, so it kind of looks like a box you're shipping. And so this one says Santa Mail and also one that says North Pole. Then we have some toys for the elves to pack up in the box. We've got the toy train, the bear, the duck, the little drum, that cute little doll there. We have some snowflakes for helping to set the scene and a cute little heart and star for the same thing. We also have a tiny little solid heart and solid star that's great for adding to the boxes and wrapping paper to decorate them. And then here are a couple other labels for the box. So we have this side up and that fun little postage stamp. This set has some great sentiments with Have a Very Merry Christmas, You're on My Nice List, Cheers to you and yours, May you get everything you wish for and have yourself a Merry Little Christmas, which is my favorite. We also have an exclamation point that you can add to the ends of your phrases. Here I'm using my Copic markers to add some color to these fun images, and I decided to go very traditional with reds and greens for these elves, but they're really cute to color in other colors like pinks and blues. You can color them to match your pattern paper, which is a really fun way to kind of help decide your colors. So I love that you can really make these kind of your own and do all these different color schemes for your cards. So there you can see I've got my green, and now I'm going to go ahead and color everything that I'm going to color in red. Once I have my red markers out, I kind of try to look around at my little stamped out sheet and decide what else I need to color, and that kind of helps me go a little bit faster through my coloring. So I'm going to have the red and green mugs, and of course that little candy cane, and then a nice big red bow for that box. One of my favorite things to do when coloring people is to color them like people that I know. So I decided to color these elves like Kyle and Katie, and I had a lot of fun with that. So I'm going to go ahead and color in his hair and add a little shadow kind of where the hair is laying over his face, and then blend down into the rest of his face. And then I'll do the same thing with their Katie there, the little girl. So I'm going to kind of blend her blonde hair out, and then add a little shadow under her hair, and then blend her skin out from there. Now for all of the white areas on my images like their hats and the little hot cocoa marshmallows and whipped cream, I added a little light gray marker just to the edges just to give a little extra something. Now I love coloring in this box. In this case I tried to do it like a brown box that you would ship, but you could also color it in some fun colors. It could even be pink for birthday or red for Christmas, etc. But my other favorite thing to do is to paper piece with it. So I stamp it on some pattern paper and then I cut that out, and that way your box looks like it's in wrapping paper, but you've used pattern paper to do the wrapping paper. And I like to do the same thing for the wrapping paper as well. So in this case I'm coloring it in red there with my red marker, but I could have stamped it on some red pattern paper or maybe a little pattern paper with some snowflakes and really made it look like real wrapping paper, which is really cool. Now for all of these crafty tools and the toys, I like to color these in to match. Now on the scissors, I did do the traditional orange handle for the Fisker scissors, but for everything else, I kind of like to color it to match. So the train, I'll do fun colors to kind of match my scene or maybe what my pattern paper might be. I really like using these kind of dark teals here for Christmas. I think it looks so pretty with the red and green together. And then for my little doll, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to color her dress in that same teal color so that all of those toys look really nice together when I pile them up on my cart. These are the coordinating dies for the set, which you can bend apart at the tabs, or you can use your wire snips to separate them. I'm going to take my little dies there and line them up with my stamped images, hold it in place with some low-tack tape, run it through my die cut machine, and then I'll have some perfectly cut out images that I can start to layer on my cards. So here are all of the images from the set, and I love that you can put the lid on the box so it looks like a closed present. You can put the little bow on top too, or you can have the lid kind of off like that so it looks like someone opened it to see what's inside. There you can see the little label on the box and how the elves can hold the hot cocoa mugs, or also all of their little crafty wrapping present items like the scissors and the ribbon. And then here I wanted to show you something else fun that you can do with the box. So we've included this die that kind of looks like a stretched out V. And what that die is it helps you cut a little notch in the box so that you can tuck things inside. So I'm just going to line that up right with the line of the box, kind of edge to edge, hold it in place with some tape, I'll run it through the die cut machine, and as you peel the die off, you now have a slit in the box, which means you can put things inside. So I can take all those little toys and tuck them inside of the box, which is super, super cute. You could also put the elves inside, and I like putting other characters inside. I actually can't wait to take a little cat stamp and put the cat inside the box. So now it's time to make a card with this set, and so I'm going to use my Gotta Have Gingham paper here, but for a Christmas card. So I'll take that blue color out, and that's going to kind of be my sky or my wallpaper of my card. So I'll trim that down to a standard size card at 5.5 by 4.25 inches. And then here is my peekaboo backdrop die, and I'm going to die cut that out of some white cardstock so that I can layer that on top to create my scene. I'm also going to create a standard size card base so that I can start layering all of my pieces together. Today we are recreating a card by Elena, so thank you so much, Elena, for letting us recreate this card for the video. So there I've added some foam tape to the back of my peekaboo backdrop so that I can layer it on top and there'll be this really great dimension. Here I have a bunch of die cut and colored images, and I'm going to use that V-shaped die to cut the little slit in the box so that I can tuck some presents inside. To add some extra detail to my Copic coloring, I'm going to use my white gel pen to add stripes and polka dots. This is a really fun way to add details to the wrapping paper and the boxes, or you could use some pattern paper as well. So I love that there's lots of fun ideas with this. So I'm just adding a bunch of little dots there, so it looks like some really cute polka dotted wrapping paper. And now I'm going to start to create my scenes in each of these windows. I love that it kind of looks like a little comic book, and you're going to see the scene of the elves wrapping the presents and enjoying their cocoa and their candy canes. So I've tucked those little toys into that box where we cut the slit and then layered the lid behind, and then we'll layer some more toys around that box as well, and then that other cute little elf. For this next box, I'm going to layer the lid on top so it looks like a closed box that's been completely wrapped, and then put the little bow on top and layer that inside, and of course some wrapping paper next to it as well, and the little elf that's been working hard to wrap her presents with the little ribbon spool, and you'll see that the color of the ribbon spool matches the color of the ribbon on the box. I'm going to tuck one of the elves into the box. He's the one that's kind of joking around, not really getting any work done, right? And so I'm going to layer that there with the little bear there on the outside, which I think is just too cute. I'm using my anti-static powder tool here to add some powder to my black cardstock. I'm going to stamp in some nice sticky embossing ink and then add some white heat embossing powder. And the anti-static powder tool there is going to help it so that the heat embossing powder only sticks to that nice sticky ink and not the cardstock itself. I'll heat it up with my heat gun, and now I have a nice bright white sentiment, and I'm just going to use a dry cloth to just remove any of that powder so that it just has that really nice bold look. I'm going to use a sentiment banner to die cut that, so I'll run that through my die cut machine, and now I've got a great little banner there to add to my card. Just added some foam tape to that, and I'll layer that in the center, and that's my favorite sentiment from the set. It's just so cute, and this card just makes me smile. I just love it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but I've been having so much fun making double slider surprise cards, so I thought it'd be fun to make another one today. So I've die cut the pocket pieces there from some pattern paper from Really Rainbow and some white cardstock. And I'm going to use the notch die to cut notches from both sides of both of these pieces. The notch die is super easy to line up. You just take that top bar and kind of butt it up against the side of your cardstock, hold it in place with some low tack tape, run it through your die cut machine, and you can do the notches. So you can do one notch, no notches, or two. But in this case, I wanted to do two. We're going to add some 1/8 inch score tape, some nice strong tape to the top tabs of both of these pieces. I'll then fold along that score line of the die there, and then we're going to put them together to create one long piece. So I'm going to kind of line them up just like this. I'll peel up that liner paper, butt them up against each other, and then push down that tab, and this is going to create my pocket for my slider mechanism to go inside of. For my sliding mechanism, I'm going to be using a plastic bag. So in this case, I'm going to use a dog poop bag for my plastic bag, but you could use something like a grocery bag or even some of your leftover packaging from your stamps or dies. But I always have these around since I have dogs, so I decided to use this. And I cut it down to about 11 inches long to 2.25 inches wide. And I'm going to take that same 1/8 inch tape and add that there to the edge of the bag. We'll then wrap that bag around our track piece. I'll peel up that liner paper and then attach the other end of the bag to it to create kind of a plastic ring around the track piece. Then we'll use our scissors to trim off any of the excess. I always like to take my hands and kind of slide the bag around the track piece and make sure that it's moving really well. And then I'm going to take that seam there where I attach the two pieces together and move that over to the left side. Then I'm going to add some more of that tape right along that seam. I'll flip my piece over and then add some tape to the right side on the back. So on the front, we've got the tape on the left side, and on the back, we have the tape on the right side, on the opposite side. So there you can see how that's looking. I'm using the panel piece die here to cut some white cardstock and also some pattern paper, and I'm going to attach the pattern paper to those white cardstock pieces just to make them a little bit sturdier so that they work really well in the mechanism. Once I've attached those two pieces on there, then I also want to add a little bit of decoration to them. So I'm going to take some more of the really rainbow paper in the red, and I die cut that with that pocket piece that we used earlier, and I'm going to trim off about 3/4 of an inch to be the floor on the bottom of my piece because I'm going to create a little scene there, and I want the scene to extend. So I'm going to make a little mark there on my panel piece as to how high the floor should go up, and then just trim that right off. And you'll see later, once we have our little panel pieces in, the floor is going to line up across both of them. So I'm going to add some tape there and just add my floor to my panel piece. And then we can start adding the panels to the mechanism. So we'll peel up that liner paper, and I'm going to line up the right edge of my panel piece with the right edge of the track, and then I can push down. And then I'm going to flip over to the back side of my track. And so I'm going to peel up that liner paper, and I'm going to make sure I'm looking at the back of my little panel there and attach that way. So the back of the track and the back of the panel. That way, when we look at the front, we're seeing both the front pieces just like that. I also need to put some more tape on the top and bottom of this little track piece. So the very top and the very bottom, and then I'll flip it over and do it on the back side too. I usually do this step before I put the whole slider mechanism together, but I forgot, but it was no problem because I was able to add the tape just as easily. I'm then going to peel up the liner paper on the back side of the track there, and then we're going to attach that into our pocket. So we're going to fit that right in to that little tab there, right into the fold, and then we can push down and attach it into our pocket piece. Now right here, I'm going to stop and start doing some of my decorating. So I'm going to stamp that cute little box on some paper bag cardstock because I thought that would make it look kind of like a corrugated shipping box. And so I'm going to take that and then add the lids to these boxes. And we're going to create a little pyramid of boxes. I think it's so fun to stack these. So I'm going to attach these two together and then take my top box and put that on top. And the top one, I've cut that little slit with that V-shaped die in it so that I'm going to be able to put a little penguin in there earlier. I've added some foam tape, and I'm just going to layer that right onto my card front. So there's that cute little penguin from the Say What Christmas Critters, and I'm going to take him and just put him right into that little slit on the box just like that. And then I'll also take the lid of the box with that cute little bow and kind of layer that behind the penguin. Now I want to use the stopper for this card because I don't want those panels to come out all of the way. I'm just going to have the little elves on there, and I want them to look like they're kind of presenting the gifts there. So I pulled out the panel pieces to where the elves and their cute little scissors and tape would fit. I'm going to take those elves and put them to the side. And then now, since I have those panel pieces in the perfect placement, I'm going to take out my stopper piece and add that in. So I'm going to peel up the liner tape on the top and the bottom of the track, and then I can lift up that panel piece, there's my stopper, and just fit that right in. I'm going to butt that right in against the edge of my panel. And that's going to make sure that those panel pieces can't go out any further. Then I can put up that little tab piece and then peel off the liner pieces and attach my whole pocket together. If you want a more in-depth look at the double slider surprise die, make sure to check out the intro video. We'll make sure to link it in the description below. I've die cut some tabs there out of the same pattern paper, and I'm going to stamp them with some Noble Fur ink using a little arrow from the Push Here stamp set. So I'm going to stamp the arrow on both of those, and then we can go ahead and fold them and attach them to the card. I really like these little pull tabs because it tells the recipient that there's something interactive about it, and it also makes it really easy to pull the pieces out. To attach them, I'm just going to run some tape along the inside. I'm going to fold along the score line that the die created for me, and then just sandwich them right around the panel piece, just like that. And it's going to create this really nice and easy to use pull tab. And so I'll repeat that with the left side as well. Now that my panels are all set up with the stoppers so that they don't come out too far, I can finally decorate them with these cute little elves. And I just love that it looks like they're kind of presenting the boxes that they've been wrapping with their tape and their scissors. It's just so cute, and I think it's a really cute surprise because you don't know the elves are going to be there until you pull on those tabs, which is so cool. I die cut a banner. This die is in the double slider surprise die, and I'm going to lay some plastic over it so that I can curve my stamp to match the banner. The plastic is going to help hold that stamp in place so that I can pick it up with my block and then stamp it. And I love that I can curve that stamp to be the perfect curve for that. How cute is that? And then we can layer that right onto the card, kind of behind that penguin. I decided to take some of the toys from the set and kind of layer those around the boxes so it looks like those are the toys that the elves are going to be kind of wrapping up. And then I'm going to create a card base that's the same size as the mechanism. So it's going to be 3 by 4 1/4. I'm going to add some adhesive to that card base and then layer my whole interactive panel right on top. And I love that the whole interactive thing is the size of the card. I think it's so cute. And how fun is that? I love that you have no idea that those elves are going to come out. Oh my goodness, it makes me smile so much. It's just so happy and so fun. So in keeping with our traditional red and green theme that we've been going for with this Holiday Helpers cards here today, we're going to use our really rainbow paper, but we're going to pick out some of the greens and the reds from this. And there's 2 different tones of green, which are really fun to combine. So we're going to take out our bunting borders die. We're going to die cut, there's some storm cloud cardstock, and we're also going to die cut a banner, and as well as the 2 tones of green with those little pennants too that we're going to layer on top. First up, we're going to stamp the cheers, may you get everything you wish for sentiment onto that little sentiment banner. And then we can layer our little pennants there over the gray. And so it's going to look like there's a gray string that has strung up all of these cute little pennant banners from light green and dark green. Here's some more of that really rainbow paper in the red, and we're going to use both the red and this really pretty kind of snowflake-y background. We're going to die cut those to be 5 1/2 by 4 1/4. Now this is one of the new reverse scalloped windows. I love these windows so much. So we're going to layer that right onto the card, and it's going to create this great window that's a perfect way to highlight a cute scene. We'll then take that really pretty snowflake paper and layer that onto the card base. And then we'll add our pennant banners to that so that way they're kind of in the background of the scene, like the little elves have decorated there for Christmas. And then we'll take some foam tape and add it to that window piece that we created. So there we'll add the foam and then layer that on top. And I love that look because it really gives this cool kind of window look. And the little scallops really remind me of kind of like a frosted window pane. We can layer our sentiment banner there along the bottom of the card, and that's going to be a great little floor for the elves to stand on. And then one of my favorite ways to use these elves is to give them the little hot cocoa mug. So they're going to be doing little cheers with their hot cocoa, which is just adorable. And then we'll fill in the scene with all of their cute little toys and their little scissors and tape and everything. And I just think it's adorable with all the little things surrounding them. And then they're cheersing, to a job well done making those cute little toys. And then here is a look at the 3 cards that we made today. I absolutely love making interactive cards with these, and making cute little scenes with the windows and the peekaboo backdrop is just so much fun. Next up, we have some amazing cards by the design team, and this card by Nicole is so cute. I love how the presents are changing in the reveal wheel. This card by Megan is so awesome. I love how cute these little elves look with the deer and that little gingerbread house from Sweet Christmas. This card by Yanea is so much fun. I love how the elves are peeking out from all the different edges of the scene. It's just so sweet. And these guys are a perfect size to put inside the shadow box card, which I think is just an adorable way to present a scene. This card by Lynette is so sweet. I love how she put a tag on the card and that cool candy cane stripe she has going on. And then this card by Julia is so much fun. I love how the presents are changing in the reveal wheel with those stacked boxes. This card by Audrey is so sweet. These elves are the perfect size for the tree from Christmas Dreams. I just love her color combo. And then this card by Nicole is so adorable. I love how she turned the gnome sweet gnome into a Santa. He's perfect to go along with the elves. I just adore how Megan combines so many sets in there, and that present is such a cute way to have that little puppy coming out of it. This card by Lizzie is so much fun. I love the tone-on-tone background she created with all of the different toys. And this card by Kay is adorable. I love the blue mixed with the red and green. It's just a pretty color combo. I love how Elise used the peekaboo backdrop and created the beautiful green and red backgrounds for her elves. And then this is the card by Elena that inspired me to make my card today. I just love it. This card by Shari is so much fun. How cute are those stacked boxes and the little elves hanging out on top? And then this card by Letitia is beautiful. I love that awesome sky background that she created for these cute little elves. So I cannot wait to see what you guys do with Holiday Helpers, so make sure to share it with us. Thank you so much for watching today, and have an absolutely amazing day. Bye!